Why, we got to do this every time? All right, fine. The following podcast contains adult language. Listener discretion is advised. Yada, yada, yada. I gotta shout out Leia on the Discord, who told me that she was, in fact, going to screen grab this because I had actually my cold open planned ahead of time. Because I just realized this today, and it blew my brain because we're both sleep deprived. So this is where we're at. But in the opening of Neuromancer, right? So we know that William Gibson got a lot of things amazingly right and a lot of things amazingly wrong. But also, William Gibson didn't know anything about computers when he wrote Neuromancer. That's the famous.
That is hilarious, yeah.
He wrote it on a manual typewriter. Like, he was just guessing. He was just using words that he'd heard, kind of thing, right? And so one of the things in the opening chapters of Neuromancer, that Case, the protagonist, is like, he's got a stash of like hot RAM that he's got a fence on the black market, and it's like 3 megs or something. It's something paltry and tiny, but to him it sounded like a lot, right? So that's why he put it in. And I just realized that's relevant again. That's a thing that's actually happening now.
100%.
The RAM crisis has driven RAM prices up so much. There's absolutely black market RAM out there.
It's people making their own RAM.
They're soldering it in the basement. Unbelievable. That's the second thing that I think that has gone. It seemed futuristic. Then it seemed quaint really fast, and now it's become relevant again.
Imagine if you had to hoard RAM, or you could make money selling RAM. Can you imagine?
The second one is my favorite one. It is the joke from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The utterly insignificant little blue-green planet whose ape-descended life forms are so amazingly primitive that they still think digital watches are a pretty neat idea. Ouch. Right? That is from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, like 1976, I think it was. And at the time, digital watches were like a cool new thing. And then digital watches kind of fell out of favor. Yeah. And they just became, so that joke stopped working. And now, because of wearables, that joke's funny again. Welcome to Pixels and Puppets, the Operation Puppet podcast, the only podcast to combine the subjects of gaming, tech, media, and puppets for no easily explainable reason. It is Friday, February 13th, 2026. Ooh, and spooky and all that kind of stuff. You are the internet. I am Kevin Blaze. My pronouns are he, him, and this is episode, is it 3? I don't think it's 3. Is it 3?
No, I think it's 4.
It might be 4. I don't know. It's either 3 or 4. Season 4.
Maybe it is 3.
It might be 3. I think it's 3.
It feels like 12.
It is. This is going well. Good Lord. Of season 4, some kind of episode number of season 4 of Pixels and Puppets, the Operation Puppet podcast. Joining me is my co-host. His pronouns are he, him. It's Andrew, a.k.a. Bad Phantom, who isn't sleep deprived at all.
Hi, everybody. Caffeine and sleep deprivation is going to make for one of those podcasts.
Lord, we're all sleep. I'm on like 2 weeks.
Yeah, see, I'm like, when I got 4 hours of sleep last night. And Kev's like, oh, did you? Did you get 4 hours of sleep, you big baby?
Poor baby?
Let me tell you about my last 2 fucking weeks.
Yeah, it's been a heck of a ride. But anyway, hi, we're here. We're still doing it on time. In
person, baby.
On schedule and all that stuff. And it's Friday the 13th, which in 2026 means that this is the one day absolutely nothing bad will happen.
Yeah.
So there you
Honest
go.
to God. And, nobody got a horror movie together. So nobody's taking advantage of the release date. I mean, Sam Raimi's got a new movie in theaters, which is nice. It's nice that he's out there, but Send Help is not exactly a horror movie, but it is getting really good reviews. But
I mean, if you want a horror movie, just turn on the news. I don't know.
I know they're talking about doing we're gonna get into fandom again later, but it's the fact that
or now
the The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'll admit, I've never watched it. Never watched the original.
Nor have I.
I haven't really. Okay, that's fine.
I'm actually not a big slasher film fan.
Right.
I like your classic monsters. That's
yeah.
my.
I like suspense. I like freaky shit, but I don't generally go for slasher films either. And that was obviously the alpha in a lot of ways. But
right.
I respect its success. I know that a lot of people do celebrate its cinematic elements, and that's great. But now it is IP. It is a franchise.
Yes.
And they announced recently that they're going to be
Ed
doing
Gein cinematic universe. Right?
Seriously, what the fuck? They're going to do.
There's the podcast title.
Ed Gein's, Jesus. You're not wrong. I don't think they'd
It's gonna go over.
To
It's gonna go over a picture of a blue dog.
but still,
what is happening?
They're doing a movie. They want to do a TV series. Like
what?
My brothers in Christ. It's about.
Wait, I have one question.
Yeah.
How is Rob Zombie involved in this? Because this is totally Rob Zombie.
Well,
fucking
I don't know. Rob's kind
just
of
humping the corpse of that thing, man.
Halloween fell apart for him, so I don't know, man. I don't think he's involved. But still, just the fact that
somebody he trained is involved then.
because everything's corporate, everything's owned by VC.
Everything
now.
is a content fire hose.
Yeah, so it's just like, hey, let's make another one. I'm like, all right, fine, fuck it. I might as well mention real quick because I'm moderately interested. Did you watch the Rockford Files?
I did as a child.
Sure. I mean,
you know?
it was too adult for us when it came out. I mean, you're a bit older than I am.
You're right.
But
I remember it being on in the same room that I was.
Yes, absolutely.
That's probably the best way
and
of saying it.
It was a very.
I could not tell you what it was about other than that he was a detective. Apparently?
Yeah, I think he was a private detective, and that was basically his shtick.
And possibly an alcoholic.
Yeah, James Garner was just force of nature.
Or James Garner was an alcoholic.
Yeah, just a cool dude. Anyway. Again, being IP, they're bringing it back.
You remember this, don't you?
Well, yeah, exactly. It's like just pure nostalgia mining. But they've tried before. They evidently made a pilot in the '90s with Dermot Mulroney, and it didn't get picked up. And then they were going to make a movie, and Vince Vaughn was going to play him, and that didn't end up getting made. And now they're going to make another series, and they got David Boreanaz to play Jim Rockford, the Angel from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, wasn't he the Billy Idol looking guy?
No, that was Spike.
Oh,
I thought you watched that. See, I'm always surprised.
If it's a TV show, I probably haven't watched it.
Okay, this it goes back, but anyway,
he's the TV show after 1986. I probably haven't watched it. I discovered drugs and girls. That's so,
touche. Alternate podcast title: Drugs and Girls.
I still like the Ed Gein cinematic.
No, you're definitely going with that. But anyway, he's a solid performer. He's a very charismatic actor. Mm-hmm. Did a great job with the character. What's interesting is that
you get a digitally superimposed James Garner's face over it.
No, but what's interesting is
they absolutely are.
There's the writer Chris Cantwell.
Can we de-age the digital James Garner?
Chris Cantwell, who created *Halt and Catch Fire*. I follow him on Blue Sky, and he actually wrote the Angel comic for a while, and also was a fan of the Rockford Files, and did an homage to the opening of the Rockford Files with Angel in it years ago, and now he has brought that into reality just by creating that, and now the actor who played Angel is going to be in Rockford Files.
I have a question.
Yes.
This is going to seem loaded, but I'm genuinely curious. Was the Rockford Files that good?
It was solid entertainment.
Okay.
He was a very charismatic dude. It was a fun show. He was, a hard scrabble, but it had a great sense of humor.
All right.
And,
I remember James Garner as always seeming like your slightly alcoholic but interesting uncle.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. He's definitely your cool uncle.
He's definitely got, like, he has a basement with shag carpeting and, like, a fireplace and a nutcracker. That's important. The walnuts in the nutcracker. Everything looks like it's mahogany.
Yeah.
And
you
there's
weren't allowed to touch anything.
And there's a pipe rack. There's absolutely a pipe rack. And there's always the lingering smell of pipe smoke, but you never actually see him smoking the pipe.
Yeah, absolutely. That works perfectly. No, he was definitely the cool uncle that your mother really never wanted you to hang out with.
Yeah. He's got a little too much money. He's always suntanned, even in the winter for some reason.
Like you never were quite happy to visit him.
I'm literally describing one of my family friends as growing up. So.
I had a similar uncle, honest to God. I had a similar uncle.
Maybe it's the uncle. Maybe that's
anyway.
Everyone's got the same uncle.
I just thought that was it's always funny how they keep bringing this shit back, and because they don't have anything
I'm sure
original.
it'll last forever. I'm sure.
Man,
I'm sure they won't cancel it immediately.
They did a reboot of Magnum PI, and I think it's still going. It's like 6 or 7 seasons in.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a vaguely Latino in the
Sure.
reboot, or maybe half Asian Latino. I'm not sure, but cool.
All right.
And people are watching it because I think people just recognize it. I mean, Christ, the MacGyver reboot from like over 10 years ago lasted like 5 or 6. It lasted longer than the original series. Because they're just network television is fucking desperate.
That was irony watching.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, well, it's nostalgia, but it also just it's inertia. Like the networks are so desperate to fill the schedule with stuff that people might watch, and they
Who even knew there were networks anymore?
I know it every time you know how you see network TV, bus shelters. That's it. Bus shelters. You'll see a poster for Sheriff County, which is another one that's on, and it's like Morena Baccarin, who from Firefly, looking very intense and dressed like a cop. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm glad she's getting work. This is always my reaction when I recognize the actor that's in these shows. I'm like, oh, good for you, good on you. Get that bag.
Glad you're not on the dole yet.
But I'm sure as fuck not gonna watch it.
Okay, well, that's apparently TV is still a thing.
Yeah, I mean, TV is never really went away. I mean, we ended up with not appointment TV, but streaming wants to be TV. We've come full circle. All the streamers want to have the prestige TV shows, which are HBO Light at this point. Mm-hmm. But it's I don't miss network television just because it generally was as dumb as a post. But I've said before how when you made a show for a network in the 80s and the 90s, you had room to breathe when you wrote these things, and they would hire writers who wouldn't necessarily get a shot, and they would do little throwaway episodes that would blossom into something beautiful, and it would start their career. And you can't have that anymore because everything's 8 episodes and there's no flexibility. I mean, I guess The Pit is a big success right now. It's a hospital drama with Noah Wyle, but it's also it's longer run. I think it's like 20 episodes or something crazy, but it's one big story. It's like every week it's another hour of that day. So it's not like they're going to have fun little bubble episodes. They're going to be still going hard with the big story they're telling. But anyway, I think that's enough of a TV discussion.
All right. Coping mechanism.
Yeah, get right in.
Let's get on with coping mechanism. These are the things that have either distracted, inspired, or otherwise reminded us that not absolutely everything is terrible. Mm-hmm. And I have the perfect one because I had nothing until I listened to this. So this was a podcast, and it's also an essay by the one and only, of course, Cory Doctorow. Mm-hmm. But in these, I think Cory is exactly the right person for this moment in history that we're going through right now. He's got enough of history and an incredible wealth of knowledge about our specific moment in history that he can make commentary on it that is insightful, but is also like instructive. Mm-hmm. And so it's not just an analysis. He's not doing the Gen X mistake. And I'm saying this of my own generation of like, we have all the complaints, but no solutions, right? He's goes the one step further and he suggests, here are ways that we can proceed. And so one of the things that, he's prolific, right?
Oh God, yeah.
And one of the things that he's been doing, he's been writing a blog. And then what he's occasionally doing is he's turning the blog into a podcast. He's basically just reciting the essays that he writes on the blog. And that's what this is. So this one in particular, and I urge you to go and read all of this stuff on Cory's blog. I'll link to it in the show notes. It's all worth your time. But this one in particular really hit me when I listened to it this week, and it was called All Laws Are Local. And the summary is, and please, I urge, if you do nothing else, I suggest, if you never play Warframe, if you never do anything else, listen to this podcast. This is the one thing I would say that, absolutely no matter who you are, where you are, this is worth your time. This will change how you see things. And it is basically about how the level of despair that we all feel is clear, obvious, and understandable. But one of the reasons that we feel that is because it feels like nothing we do matters, and that things are this way and will always be this way, right? And he makes a very good and very instructed point that A, that's not true, and B, things can change. Not only can they can change quickly.
Yeah.
So, and he gives tons and tons of examples. I mean, I'm not just talking about like moment to moment things. I'm talking about like huge societal changes. It is again, brilliant and insightful. By all means, go and listen to the podcast is linked in the show notes. Go and listen to it. It is brilliant, and it is a thing that we need at this exact moment in history.
And it's complementary to our patron saint, Ed.
Absolutely.
You know, Ed Zitron still goes fucking ham.
But this is the Corey is almost the answer to Ed Zitron, because Ed is very understandably just pissed about all this shit, and Ed
righteous indignation
for all of Ed's putting down of Generation X, which is justified. I will say, as a member of Generation X, I can say the things that Ed has said about Gen X are absolutely correct, and they basically boil down to we've got complaints but no solutions, and we never did anything about it. All we did was complain. And it's true. 100%. I've been frustrated with my own generation because of this. But Ed's kind of doing the same thing. Like he's figuring out, wow, this shit's bad and wrong, but then there's no path forward, right? There's no resolution to that. It's just the bubble's going to burst. Here's why the bubble's going to burst.
At the very least, he's writing it down and establishing that the people responsible cannot say they didn't know what was going on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because guys like Ed are breaking it down.
Ed is doing,
and they're holding their feet to the fire.
Important and necessary work. Ed's writing the receipts.
Yeah,
right?
and hopefully, people that can take these people down will be able to point to Ed's work and say, "This is. Can you answer to this?" And then they'll go,
But what Corey's doing is Corey's closing the loop. Corey is the one that's going, yes, that's true. Now this, right? And so that to me is one of the best coping mechanisms I can think of, because it's like, it makes me go, oh shit, you're right. This isn't going to last forever. We have to do things. And this is the other thing that I really appreciated. One of his previous essays to this, and it does link into this. He talks about the difference between optimism and hope. Right. And he was talking about how like optimism is bullshit. Like never be optimistic. There's no point. It's clearly a useless thing because it makes us passive. Right. Hope is the opposite of optimism. Hope is active. Hope is the aspirational thing. It is the thing that motivates you. And to quote one Cassian Andor in Rogue One, rebellions are built on hope. Right. This is the thing. To hope is the active inspiring force. And so he's hopeful, but not optimistic. That is a very important distinction. And that is the kind of angle that he's coming at all this stuff from.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good thing to keep in mind. I'll definitely be checking
super healthy,
I've always been aware of Corey's work. I haven't been reading enough of it, so I'm definitely going to check that out.
By all means, please do. All right, what you got? You got
so I was actually going to use this one last week and I got distracted. A gentleman named Joseph Ricketts. He does he snorkels in rivers basically.
Right.
He's largely based out of Florida, but he gets around mostly the southern U.S. because it's more
some
comfortable.
Pretty serious snorkeling in Florida, let me tell you.
Well, that's it, so he'll go out of his way to find places that he's aware of, and it's just super chill. He's a very soft spoken guy. He'll spend the first chunk of the video explaining where he's going and his goals. The most recent video, his goal was to A, get to this location, B, find giant tadpoles, and C, get very up close to giant tadpoles.
Giant tadpoles?
Yeah.
How giant?
Like about the size of a banana. They're big ass tadpoles.
Banana.
I didn't realize.
Wait, what do they turn into?
Frogs, bullfrogs.
really big frogs.
Oh yeah,
I guess.
monsters.
I
Yeah,
didn't
no
know-
question.
I honestly didn't know frogs got that big.
Oh yeah, no, these are going to be big ass.
I've seen
frogs.
some big frogs. Don't get me wrong.
And I didn't realize how long they stay tadpoles. He said like 2 years. So it's not a. He talks about nature. He's obviously very passionate about nature and about keeping these ecosystems alive. And this one was interesting because it was the product of an attempt to dig a canal across Florida in the 60s, I think, until they realized, oh fuck, this is a bad idea. We can't do this.
I keep thinking the Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, exactly. Zig, 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 zig. So
Wait, they actually tried to do that?
one of the fascinating elements of his journey is that there are natural springs amongst these. So you'll see geysers in the river, just like blasting up sand where the spring is coming out, and it's just seeing it and he's beautifully shot 4K, and it's just amazing to see this stuff in what turns out to be a fairly small space, and just teeming with life. It's really remarkable when he gets the camera on. Like, of course, you just see he'll show you what it looks like above the water, and it just looks like a swamp. And then he gets the camera in there, and it's crystal clear waters and just teeming with beautiful fish and life in there. And then he'll just slowly make his way down because he can't disturb the silt, and it's so relaxing. And he plays beautiful music with it, which I believe he actually composes himself. Just some very, very chill keyboard material, and it's extremely pleasant, and it's a very good coping mechanism to just fire it up and let it go and just kind of go along for the ride. And spoiler alert in the current video as he's going around.
Spoiler alert, is a less than giant tadpole.
Well, I mean, he passes by something and doesn't notice it, but in the camera, in the footage, you go, "That's a fucking alligator."
And you're in Florida, dude. Of course, there's an alligator.
That's his point. Is like,
I've been to Florida a number of times. I saw an alligator literally every time.
and that's the thing. Like, you forget about it, but the rule is, if you are in a body of water in Florida, it's got an alligator in it, and you got to respect
and it includes
that.
swimming pools.
And you got, it can be very, very dangerous. But these alligators they've never seen a human, so they don't think of him as prey or anything. They just kind of ignore him, and it's you just be cool and back away and beware that he's there. But it still makes for a very and I said, like, the visuals are just gorgeous. He shoots the hell out of it. He's got some good gear. It's not just him going in with an iPhone. He's got proper gear, and he's just such a good guy. And like I say, it's just super chill, and it's very relaxing, and I highly recommend checking it out.
Excellent.
So the link's in the show notes. Again, his name
Joseph
is
Ricketts.
Joseph Ricketts.
Thank you,
I put
Joseph
snorkeling
Ricketts.
on there. It's just
Snorkeling.
Joseph Ricketts' photo, I think, is the link on YouTube. But
I can't stop. I got to tell this story now that we've mentioned.
Oh, absolutely.
Big frogs, because it just pinged a memory. This is part of the sleep depth, of course, was just like accessing parts of the database that don't normally get dusted off. My grandfather played a trick on me when I was a little kid. So my grandparents lived in a cottage, and we used to go up there every now and then. My grandparents are the reason that I use British colloquialisms sometimes, because they were like fresh off the boat from London. My grandfather was in the Navy, and he got discharged. He was a deck gunner on a battleship, and the gun backfired and blew off part of his finger, and he got a discharge. And this was during the Blitz.
I'll say he got a discharge.
And it was a whole finger. So he was like, well, I can't join the fight anymore, and we're just going to sit here and be bombed. Fuck that, we're out of here. Right? So then they moved to Canada. So they had their accents, and they would constantly watch whatever British television they could get. So my introduction to like Monty Python was through my grandparents and that kind of. So that's why, because they would use just British colloquialisms all the time, and I spent enough time in there, and I just liked it, and it was just alien enough to stir my imagination. So I just kind of picked it up. Anyway, in the cottage where they lived, there was quite a lot of frogs and toads and just wildlife, because it was up in the woods, and it was not the suburbia that I grew up in. So that was my special thing. I would always go, and I would collect like frogs and toads and keep them as pets for like 10 minutes and let them go before we left. And my grandfather was a chain smoker, and but he would roll his own. He was an old Navy man, right? And he was literally the human version of Popeye. If you want a picture of my grandfather, he was Popeye. That was
Popeye.
He just even with the squint, but instead of a pipe, it was a hand rolled cigarette. He was just that fucking guy, man. He was tough as nails. But I would use his tobacco tins. He would give me tobacco tins to put the frogs and the toads in. And there were these little tiny toads and I would just catch the toads and put them in the thing. One day I caught a bunch of toads and I put them in the tobacco tin and punch holes in the lid of the tobacco tin so they could breathe and all that kind of stuff. It was fine. I never lost a toad. Don't worry. One day I had caught a bunch of little tiny toads and they were in this tin, and I went off and I did something else. What I didn't know was, in the meantime, my grandfather had caught a big ass bullfrog. And he came along, he opened the tin, he dumped out the little toads, and he put the big ass bullfrog in the tin and then closed it up. So when I came back, I opened the tin and this giant fucking bullfrog jumped out, scared the living shit out of me. It was one of the first existential crises of my entire life. It was like that. In that moment, something magically traumatic had happened. What happened? Did the toads change into this? What has occurred here? There is some
Is that how frogs get big?
Strange metamorphosis that happened.
Did one frog eat all the other frogs and get this size? What's happening?
So yeah, that's there you go. I have a family story, and that's it. That's the only one.
That's amazing. I'm glad to finally hear a good family story. That's fantastic.
Go. Yeah. Anyway, wow, that will, I guess, do it for the intro.
Sure.
And we started out with the Ed Gein Cinematic Universe. We ended with a cute story about frogs.
Nice.
So,
we don't want to talk about Ed Gein and frogs.
Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna take a quick fake break, and we will be back with the Puppet Pit.
You have entered an alternate dimension, a dimension of fleece and fur, of foam and industrial adhesives, so I hope you have good ventilation. A signpost up ahead. Watch your step. You have just stumbled into the Puppet Pit.
Welcome to the Puppet Pit, where we talk about the puppet side of Operation Puppet for the last 2 weeks. And there have been 2 builds.
2 builds.
Concurrently in the past 2 weeks. There wasn't one build one week and one build another week. I've been working on both
2
simultaneously.
builds side by each.
So the first one, and the one that is actually complete, is a commission for an upcoming YouTube channel. I am not at liberty to give the details, but it is a big blue dog.
Nice.
It is just a big blue dog. So that was finished yesterday, and it is being shipped off to the client this weekend, and that will be the show art.
Oh, excellent.
Under the Ed Gein Cinematic Universe. I hope the client doesn't see it. Don't worry, they won't.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. So yeah, that was the first one, and the second one, there was another build that I was going to do, and then the client had to do something else. So I had another thing planned, and then there was a gap suddenly in my schedule. So I was like, well, I'll just build another frog, I guess. Speaking of frogs, I guess there's been another legally distinct celebrity amphibian in the works. Not quite done yet. There was some delays and things happened this week, past 2 weeks. So it's about 75% done. But one of the fun things is I got to the point where I need to start making the collar. And the felt, yes, felt, for a fucking change, it is actually felt.
Finally.
I make the collars for these particular characters out of felt. Mm-hmm. I'm not even sure what the original, it might actually be felt for the originals. Because these they not only don't need to, they shouldn't stretch. Right. That's the thing. So felt doesn't stretch. And you can also make very clean line cuts without having to.
Yeah, I would think that was more the appeal.
So I have some felt that is close to the right color, but it's not quite there.
It's got to be right.
So there's a fabric store that I'm going to check out on the Danforth that I haven't checked out yet, and I think they might actually have some felt that might be the right color, and also some fleece that might be good for me to use. So I haven't been there yet.
I was going to go today, and then, sleep debt happened. And so I just barely got through the day doing the absolute minimal of what I needed to do to get more of the frog done. But tomorrow night, there is actually a segue here between this and Pixeltown, because the Warframe Alliance that I am part of will often they're very large and very active, and they will often do just sort of social hangout type nights. They did a whole bunch of like movie watch along nights, and just like get into a voice channel and, you just hang out. For the first time tomorrow night, they're actually doing an art hangout
art.
Everybody who whatever you do, you draw, you paint, whatever, just get together and hang out and make art.
Man, I don't know if I'm aware of any art. What do you think, Frankie? Yeah, I don't know, man.
So I'm gonna
shatter some brains tomorrow.
Hopefully tomorrow night, that's what I plan to do.
It's gonna be one of those things where wait, what? Holy fuck! Wait, Jesus Christ! What?
There's been a few moments like that, actually.
Yeah, like it's funny at first, and then they look at it and they go, wait a minute, Jesus.
There was one time I actually logged in to the game, and so in chat, the alliance leader Shadow Gunson, was just somebody was asking about the alliance in general, and Gunson was like hyping it up in a jokey way, but he said we even got puppets, and someone said puppets, and they didn't know I was on. I had just logged on and saw this, so I just typed in I have been summoned. My username was Operation Puppet, right? They were like, and Gunson was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you just did that."
It's so great when those little moments can happen.
And so that's hopefully a thing. So what I plan to do tomorrow night, if I can get there tomorrow, I'm gonna hopefully get the right color felt for the collar, and then I will be working on a legally distinct celebrity amphibian while I hang out with the Warframe.
Hopefully it'll be a discovery. They'll have all kinds of crazy shit.
I have a suspicion that might. So it looks pretty well stocked, and also they've been there for a long time. So that's that. Those have been the builds. What else we got going on? The build streams have been continuing. Past 2 weeks, do build streams, which is pretty good, all things considered. Last week I shot a tutorial about draping, which will be up. The next time I don't do a build stream,
it's good to have those in your pocket.
I do. I have one in the hopper usually for like, okay, I know I'm not going to be able to do a build stream, this week, so I'll put up a tutorial video instead. And then this week I was working on the dog, so that was part of what the dog and the frog body was. Excellent. This week on the build stream. So yeah, there's been 2 build streams, 2 weeks, so all good.
Dog and the Frog is how the Muppet Show started.
Yeah, there's the segue. No, I actually fully intended to, and no, I just haven't had the opportunity yet to sit down and watch the.
It kills me that they made one episode.
Yeah, and
they just said, let's just do one. Like, how do you just do one episode of the Muppet Show? It doesn't make sense to summon forth the powers that are necessary to create this and go, we're just going to do one and see how it goes. Like, how do you not just say, we're going to do 10 episodes? Of course we're going to do 10 episodes. Again, it's modern television, but Jesus. Anyway.
It's just, who knows? I have more than a few criticisms about how Disney has handled this whole Muppet situation. And I'm not the only one, but so no, I haven't watched it yet. I will.
I watched it.
I've heard it's good.
It's good. There's love. It radiates love. Yeah. It radiates respect for the show. They 100% lean into the variety show element and the fact that they're putting on a show and at the backstage. And oh my God, this is so bad. My coworker was watching it with his wife. And they're in their he's like 40 something and she's in her late 30s, and they watched it and she's like, I don't get it. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I don't get the show. And then he went, oh my God, you've never seen the Muppet Show. She's like, yeah, I know them from the movies. She had never seen the Muppet Show.
Hey,
and again, not a young woman, like it's one of those oh fuck moments where you realize there are a lot of people out there who don't know that the Muppet Show existed. And as I've said before, it's people that don't understand what a variety show is.
Yeah.
You know, and to have that is and it's great that they got Sabrina Carpenter for it. She was a perfect choice because she brought a lot of young people, a lot of young eyeballs to the show, and they could go, oh, okay, this is interesting. You know, they do non-star numbers. They do the Weeknd's Blinding Lights with the Rizzo the Rat, and you know, just the standard. It was just like an old school episode where they would do
This
a
was the thing
modern
that
song.
I don't want to be one of those guys that's like, I said they should do this a long time ago, but I actually did. I can probably, I mean, if Discord was any good at archiving stuff, I could dig up the thing where I said, if I was going to do the Muppets, this is what I would do. I would just do the Muppet Show.
Yeah,
And
because
I
every
would
time
do it like nothing has happened.
absolutely because every iteration up until now has been let's bring the Muppets into modern times.
Yeah.
And instead they realized let's let them be the Muppets in their classic environment.
And there's a reason that works. And the thing we got to remember is the Muppets were not, and the Muppet Show specifically, was not a product of its time. Jim intentionally did a thing that was already an antiquated idea. The vaudeville variety show in the 70s, that was
those shows were on their way out.
Yeah,
you know, you had shit like the Brady Bunch Variety Hour, which was a disaster around the same time, honestly, and this was sending that bullshit up. But also, it was
vaudeville.
It was very much
a
passionate love of vaudeville.
This is what Fozzie Bear is, a vaudeville comedian. That's exactly what he is. So it's like to do that. It was always anachronistic, and that's one of the reasons why it worked. Was because the Muppets are anachronistic, right? They're a thing out of time, out of space. They don't exist in our world. And yet there is an internal logic to their world, right? And this is what the Muppet Show does the best. So just let the Muppet Show be the Muppet Show.
The only technical issue I had is that I felt that they should have shot it in 4K 60, but they shot it in 24 frames per second.
Oh, I'm glad they did. Oh, let me tell you, because I have experimented with this and puppets.
Right.
I have done episodes of the Oracle in 60 frames per second and 24, and 24 is so much better.
Okay, see, this is it. My brain said, "Oh, I want to see all of the elements of the reality, because at 60 frames is closer to reality, but you don't want that," is what you're saying in the execution.
It isn't really. It's a perceptual thing. It is not. It is not that something is closer to reality because we don't see it 60 frames per second. We don't see it any frames per second. That's not how the human brain works. So it is always an artificial approximation of what we're remembering. Remember, we don't see anything in real time. We're remembering everything. We may remember it, a half a second after it's happened, but we're still remembering everything. And so we don't actually see anything happening as it's happening in terms of a frames per second measurement. So all of that stuff is artificial. And so it really depends on it. The frame rate question is always an aesthetic question. Always. It has nothing to do with approximating reality. And this is one of the things I think people get wrong. It is about the feeling of it. And seeing a puppet performance at 24 or 25 frames per second, or even 30, for that matter, is much closer to your experience of that thing in real space than it is at 60 frames per second. 60 frames adds a level of artificiality to it that doesn't exist when you experience it in real life. I can say that authoritatively.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. I wish people could get over their hatred of high frame rate stuff.
I think it's totally
sport.
Justified. I think it's absolutely correct. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it is because it is an aesthetic choice, and it always is an aesthetic choice. It's not a one-to-one measurement.
Me and Doug Trumbull are homies. We both love the
Yeah,
high frame rate.
I
shit.
know that Hobbit movie really nailed it home.
People, like I said, people couldn't accept it because I just watched a video recently about the Hobbit, and that was obviously one of the elements that was the negative, was the fact that he shot it in 48. But he also shot it in 48 because he wanted it to look better in 3D.
Yeah.
And same way Jim Cameron does it with the Avatar films. But Jim cheats because he shoots the action sequences in a higher frame rate.
Right.
For the presentation,
So
and then the
that's
rest of
lack
it's
of
in
motion
24.
blur, though. That's
absolutely,
different.
and that's I would like to see it for myself. I appreciate that you've done the
Right.
tests and you know that for the Oracle it doesn't work, and obviously they feel like, oh, we want it to be more cinematic, and I'm like, it's a live show. I feel like I just want to see what it would look like in a higher frame rate.
You want to actively be
I
disappointed.
want to be there too. I mean, I want to, but you know, I would wager if I could sit down with Seth Rogen, who's produced it, he probably said, no, we did the test. It did not work. And that's fine. And
I mean, you want to sit down with Kermit and have a chat. We can arrange that, man. That's easy.
Yeah. Anyway, it's I enjoyed the show, and I am very hopeful that they will commit to doing annual runs of
Hey, it's got good
couple
vibes, so
episodes.
who
Yep.
knows?
And
However, it's not all sunshine and roses because our friends at Kermitainment podcast found a thing,
Yep.
and it actually had an effect, which was surprising.
it did have an impact.
So they used AI on one of the banner images on Disney Plus to generate the bottom part of a photograph that was a promotional image for the new Muppet Show special. What the AI did not know was that Piggy almost never has bare arms and hands, and it gave her bare arms and hands, and also the wrong number of fingers, because humans got 4, which is hilarious because it actually got the number of fingers technically correct for a human for once, but not for Piggy.
Worst time for that.
So,
But yeah, it was comical, and it does bring it into focus. But it also reminds you that this is something that people who don't give a fuck are responsible for it. People who don't care about the aesthetics, like they were given an image that was supposed to be used for promotional, and they went, well, we're gonna fuck with that.
we want this to be like 20 pixels taller.
Right.
What
So
do we do?
We just tell the AI, make it longer, and it goes,
So
sure,
not
no problem.
only did Kermitainment find that was the real standout was Piggy's arms, but then they started finding other little things.
Oh
that
yeah, the
were
rat
like,
was all the missing an arm and a bunch of little things, but
So because of that got noticed, they actually changed it. They actually went and all they did was took the original image and just faded it to black.
Yeah.
Like they should have in the fucking first
100%.
place. Why
100%.
did you even, what was the point of, burning that lake so you could make a ugly fucking thing? Like, why would you even do that? Why not just do the thing you should have done in the first place and just gradiate
just
it?
reverse aesthetics, or they also were probably mandated to play with the new toys.
Well, that's exactly it. We've got all these managers saying you must use AI for your job. That is the problem. It's not on the people who are actually producing a thing, because half of them know how much bullshit this is and don't want to use it, and yet they're being forced to by their middle managers. What we need is a fucking B-arc, Gold Gofrincham B-arc from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where we take all the fucking middle managers and put them on an arc and shoot them off into space. That's what we need to
that
do.
would solve a lot of problems.
Anyway, so yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I will, but Muppets apparently are good. So that's it. Muppets are in a good-ish place at the moment.
I'm hopeful.
We'll see. It's got good buzz. It got well received. It got, like, the fans liked it, and that hopefully was what they were hoping for.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't think it's going to, like, create a whole generation of new fans, which is what they're probably hoping for, but
Just keep them alive.
it did the thing. All we want is for them to do the thing. So there we go. All right. I think that will do it for the Puppet Pit. All the links are on operationpuppet.com. Join the Discord, all of the usual things. We're going to take a quick actual break, and we will be back with Pixel Town.
The sky above the port was the color of a YouTube video locked behind 17 unskippable ads. Around the rainy streets, people dodged out-of-control robo-taxis and shot down delivery drones carrying $50 burgers. Here we fight the corporate ecologies and get excited about avoiding our phones. Welcome to the mean streets of Pixel Town.
Welcome to Pixel Town, where we talk about tech, gaming, and all things thereunto related. So,
Man, Ed is just.
oh no,
It
he's
just
scrolling. Everybody, he's scrolling.
look.
Look out.
I'm just checking the timeline, and our boy Ed is just.
It's going.
He's going hard on this premium newsletter, and it's getting harder and harder to not throw the $60 at him, just because he's just so. He's putting so much into these things.
Several times during the CES coverage, he mentioned his autism, and he's like, "No, it's working for me."
Holy shit! I mean, it works. It does. AI data centers are low margin, high capex time bombs with low gross margins, possible only in perfect circumstances, fueled by junk grade debt. With 100 billion plus in new non-hyperscaler demand by 2028, the majority of these loans go unpaid, which is, of course, one of the main things he keeps coming back to. But man, if somebody complains that there's not enough, they need more information. Oh, Ed's got the numbers. He will back that shit up and choke you to death with it. Like when a couple of months, like I think it was in December, he had a free version of the newsletter that was already like a shitload of pages, and it didn't include all of the details which are in the premium version.
Mm-hmm.
Holy Jesus!
No, it's got the receipts, man. That's just what he
If
does.
anybody in your life is worried about AI, please send Ed their way, and then they can never sleep again. Probably, I don't know. That's kind of where I am. Anyway, Nookpocalypse.
Speaking of apocalypses of various kinds, there's the AI apocalypse, the data center apocalypse, which is conjunction with the AI apocalypse.
Yep.
And this is in fact related because the Nookpocalypse may in fact be upon us. All currently, and I did check today, all excuse me, versions of the Steam Deck are not available for sale.
That I don't know if anybody had that coming this quickly.
It was pretty quick.
Yeah, this
so
is
there's
nuts.
speculation about why. Are they sold out, or is there going to be a price adjustment because RAM is so expensive now?
Right, and it's a business question. I mean, if they're sitting on 1 million units that are bought and paid for on their end, but all of the competition is already jacking up prices on the current stock, you can't just leave it at the low price and go, all right, we just love our customers, so we're going to keep the price low. And I mean, it's not like they're planning on pulling them off the shelves or out of the warehouses and then stripping the RAM out of them to put them into Steam machines. But,
who knows? Because the other thing that came out this week was that they made an announcement about, look, we thought by now we would have an announcement about the pricing and availability of Steam machines and Steam Frame, but we don't because the things are happening.
Well, the scale of it is just insane.
Yeah.
And NVIDIA has said, we are not doing a 5000 series refresh this year, and the 6000 series is probably not going to be out in 27, which is anathema. It's incredible that that's just where we stand. But
look,
they don't give a shit.
We've been talking about this for a while now.
Yeah.
It's over. Like the upgrade thing is over. It's done.
And even
we're not doing it anymore.
But even for new hardware, it's becoming impossible. I mean, so one of the stories this week was that one of the let's just say MSI is releasing a 5090 that costs $5,090 American. And not only that, they're going to do a lottery so you can buy it. Like their demand is so high for people to hand over $5,090 freedom dollars to purchase a video card.
Nope.
And people are going to fight over who gets the right to do that.
Nope.
So holy Jesus, it's just incredible. So yeah, all of the hardware manufacturers are like, this is our life. We sell hardware. We can't do that.
Hey, did you know RAM is in everything? Everything.
It is apocalyptic. And and realistically, to be able to step back and say, you know what, 2 years, no buy-in. That would be amazing. And on a large scale, for individuals to say, don't even think about buying new hardware in the next 2 years. Just put that money aside or spend it on fine wine and travel, just other things. Live with what you got. Yes, if your shit dies, you're gonna be in a bad place. What's weird is I keep seeing posts on Reddit of people finding heavily discounted items at Walmart of all places, like RAM kits that are $100 off instead of increased. It's so weird. I don't know if it's trolling or
yeah,
or if
be
they're
careful
just that
with
ignorant about it.
Who knows?
But
right?
you know, it's not impossible to get stuff, and people are absolutely hoarding it now. I mean, there's a lot of people that are looking for these sales so they can buy it and throw it in the corner and try to sell it in 3 months for $1,000. And fuck those people. Those people deserve to die. They literally deserve to die. I have no patience for these fucking scalpers. They can all eat shit and die.
I mean, we live in the age of parasites.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
just,
you know, all of these the grifters of the world all need to die. Anybody who decided that their way of making their way through the world today is going to be by fucking other people and charging them ungodly amounts. I mean, on one hand, fuck those people, but also fuck the people who are paying it.
Well,
you know, this is scalper mentality.
This is the thing. And I mean, all of this, we have to remember, and I'm speaking to this from my personal perspective, admittedly, but this is all happening during a huge cost of living crisis, right? Where it's like, I know from myself, I can barely afford basic necessities. This is unthinkable. Like, for me to think about upgrading is not an option at all.
I want the new mantra for everybody to be, maybe don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that should be everything, almost everything in your world, you know, especially when it comes to technology. Maybe don't. You know, we've said before how this is a great time to look backwards about in your catalog, all the games that you've collected over the years. Maybe it's time to play those instead of worrying about the new titles. I mean, there's a new Nintendo Pokemon game called Pokopia, which looks like a lot of fun. It's like Animal Crossing, but Pokemon with some Minecraft-y elements to it. It looks like a lot of fun. It's $100 Canadian. And it only runs on the Switch too. There is no reason that should have also not been a Switch release. It should have 1,000% been a Switch release.
Right.
But they want to move hardware.
Yes. They also there was an investor call with, I think it was Sony. It was Sony and my Nintendo, who basically are sort of like setting expectations for hardware going forward, and who basically both said the same thing, which is, and this is to investors, remember this, so this is to the shareholders, that we're okay for now for the next year's worth of planned manufacture of hardware. We have our allotments locked in. Beyond that, question mark, right? So it's even Sony and Nintendo are going
the assumption was that the PS6 would maybe be announced this year, not and then come out in 2027 in the fall.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, no.
It's not necessary. You don't have to release new fucking hardware. There is no reason for that. They're going to have enough trouble just putting the fucking hardware on the shelves that we got now. But I just keep coming back to this game. Pokemon Pokopia for Switch 2, $99.99 Canadian. Go fuck yourself. And this is happening a lot with these reviews of these games. And, you know, like Mario Tennis. Like, Mario Tennis is a blast. They want $80 fucking to play Mario. 80? Actually, now I want to check to see if it is. I mean, it's literal insanity to say, no, this game is worth $100 fucking. No, I lied. It's $99.99 for a fucking Nintendo game. $99.99 Canadian. Fuck you. And anybody who's considering paying that, fuck you too. Nobody should be paying this. This is literally insane. and they need to be. But they're moving hardware. The Switch 2 is selling like hotcakes. People can't get enough of it, and because it plays all the Switch games. But all these new games are $100 A game like Pocopia should be $50 tops. It's a $50 game.
I'm not going to argue.
It's a nice little title, and it's fun. The idea that you would have to pay $100 and then theoretically another $100 for your other kid to play it, because if you've got kids, they can't share the game, especially since it's probably has to be locked to one fucking account.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my Jesus!
No question.
$100 for a fucking video game is insane. I mean, I want to come back to that a little later. I think I put it in here. Actually, no. It's kind of part of the discussion at this stage. There's a lot of discussion now about value.
Yeah. I think it was Jason Schreier.
Yes, Schreier posted that today, and I didn't, or did I put it? I think it did put it in the show notes here.
I don't think you did.
Where did I put it? I think it's under. No, maybe it's not. Anyway, yeah. Basically, Schreier did a post, and it is. He has a link on his Blue Sky link. I thought I put it on here. Anyway, yeah, it's basically saying it doesn't have to be like this, and how a lot of game developers, obviously the big boys, all think that you should be paying $100 for a video game, and then they turn around and release games like Arc Raiders for $50, and Marathon's going to be $50, and Claire Obscure, the game of the year by all accounts, was like a $50 release. Actually, it's $40 American when it came out because of the discount. And it's a full game. It's a full game made by a lot of people. It's not an indie game by any stretch. It's an indie game in that it's not released by EA initially, or I can't even remember who's technically responsible for it. But anyway, and more of these games are coming out at a reasonable price, and they're moving numbers. A game like Mugenics, the new title from the creator of The Binding of Isaac. And again, he's an indie guy, but it's like $30 or $25, I think, right now on launch, and people are buying it as a fucking casual buy. It's just, oh yeah, $30, sure, here, take it. It's so easy to say, yeah, absolutely, I'll give you $30 for that, as opposed to paying $100.
But this is what we talked about at the end of last year, was that like this is the only way forward is to either play old games or indie games that are not. Like, AAA development is effectively dead. For some reason, Nintendo seems to be impervious, but probably not forever. I mean, as soon as like their hardware gets constrained,
if you don't pay $100 for this game and the numbers are bad, guess what's going to happen? They're going to drop the price of the game. And then they go, shit, maybe $100 is too much. Maybe we can roll it back. Even if they roll it back to 80 sucks, but $80 is $80. It's $20 less than $100.
I mean, the fact is, a corporation will always charge the absolute maximum they can. Always. Yep. That is just the default, right? That's it's not even a question. It is maximizing shareholder value. Yep. That is their entire portfolio.
And maximizing shit if people don't buy it. And this is what we keep coming back to. What did I say, Kev? Maybe don't.
Maybe don't.
Maybe don't.
Yep.
Maybe don't play Pocopia. Maybe just go find a fucking copy of one of the older games and just enjoy that. Go play Dragon Quest Builders, which is half the game that it rips off anyway. That you can get that pretty cheap because it's been out for 2 years, and of course, any game that's more than a year old by any other metric is a third the price that it was when it came out, which is half the reason why they're so desperate to get $100 on launch for these titles. But Jesus Christ, $100. Anyway, so going back to the deck Nook.
What says would you spend $4,000 on a hand?
Aya Neo, has the Aya Neo Next, which is it's literally 1.5 kilograms. It's a laptop. It's a handheld, but it's a laptop. It's hilarious. It's massive. It is insanely overpowered, and the 3 tiers that they have are bananas. Like the entry level unit is 32 gigs of RAM, and it's like 2,000 American, I think.
All right,
and then it jumps up to get the next level of the. It's got the Intel. No, I think it's the Intel one. max 385 and then 395. I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to look it up. But to kick it up to the next level of processor, not only are you getting the next level of processor, it comes with 64 gigs of RAM and 2 terabytes of storage. And then the Alpha is 128 gigabytes of RAM and 4 terabytes of NVMe storage. And that's the one that's like over $4,000 American dollars for a handheld gaming device.
Whose hands are holding this? That's
so I assume their actual game is that it's a dock. It's a dockable PC that you can take with you. But many people are happily pointing out that for the price of this unit, you can get a 5090 gaming laptop with a full 17-inch screen, and it just you'll have to plug it into the wall to play a game, but I mean, you pretty much have to do the same thing.
Yeah,
with this
are you
thing.
not going to plug that into the wall?
They just the jumps in these SKUs are insane. So they're gonna move product because there's still a lot of whales out there who just have to have the latest and greatest and biggest and best. But I mean, Jesus,
in this current environment, I bet you the whales are dying off.
Even then, the whales are stepping back. I think. I mean, there's still obviously people willing to pay $5,090 for a 5090 PC card. It's a good one though. It's got like the AIO built into it. And and it's pretty.
Okay.
Anyway, I just thought it was worth mentioning that
that's a lot of scratch,
but
a lot of moolah, a lot of cabbage.
But all these guys are terrified right now because they can't release product because, I mean, what they've got in the warehouse. And again, it's like, do we just increase the price of what we've got to deal with this RAM apocalypse, or do we sell it for what it is? And then once we run out, that's it. And the next wave will have to be $1,000 more.
And then we're out of business because
there's going to be blood on the floor by the end of this year, let alone the end of 2027 because of the AI apocalypse. But fuck these people.
Speaking of fucking these people.
Oh man.
So I do know what Ring is.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what Flock was. I know that Gamers Nexus has talked about Flock quite a bit. They're a surveillance thing.
Yep.
I guess.
Basically, Ring is Amazon's brand of
the doorbell cameras.
Exactly. And because they all talk to the internet and they're all slaved together so that you can see who's at your door when you're not at home and address them and
that data doesn't go anywhere else, right? I'm sure that's totally legal and it doesn't get accessed by law enforcement. And
you tick a box when you fire it up, and that box basically gives them permission to use it how they see fit. And it's a very simple surveillance tool that they can use. And what crystallized this was that they ran a Super Bowl ad where the premise is that
I like the fact that they think this is a good idea.
every year 10 million dogs go missing.
Dogs. Okay.
I swear to God, this was the pitch. 10 million dogs go missing. But with our new technology, I'm not going to look up what it was called, but it was basically a service that if you agree to it, and you, like, if somebody's dog goes missing, they can basically post a picture of their dog and the system will ingest it, and it will use the neighborhood's Ring cameras that are all part of this system. And then if the dog walks by, it'll send an alert going, hey, the lost dog is at 294 Jensen Street. And shout out to Rob Jensen. And then they could find the dog. And they said that this service is already finding one dog a day. Out of the 10 million? That's not great. But that was their big pitch for the Super Bowl. It was like, look at the good we're doing with our networked fucking Ring cameras.
We're not selling this to law enforcement at all.
And for them to make this claim and pretend like it's a good thing in the middle of the ice apocalypse.
I would say ice. What's ice?
Right. I mean, it's absolutely stunning how dumb they think everybody is, and everybody has been very complacent, and people are waking up and they're going, what? No, Jesus. And a lot of people, this woke them up to what their Ring doorbell is doing, and they've said, no, you know what? Fuck it. There was a story, another one in the news where a popular TV host, her mother was abducted and is being held ransom for Bitcoin. God only knows how this was going to go. Bitcoin. I'm serious.
Yeah.
So
I know.
What came out of this story was that she had a Nest camera on her house, but she wasn't paying for the service. Somehow they were able to still access the camera footage from when the guys showed up at her door.
Somehow.
And everybody went, oh, isn't that interesting? So they have to basically say, well, yes, it's uploaded, but we don't keep it. It basically, if you're not paying for the service, I don't even think you can access it. I think that's the joke of this.
You can't access it. They can.
They have it so that if you say, oh, I guess I could pay for it, then they can go, oh, okay, here's the last day of your service. So, I mean, guys, what do you think is happening here? So, there's a lot of options out there that are more expensive, but also are locked down. They're your footage that you talk to the system. It doesn't go to the cloud. It's on a home system, but again, that's more expensive. Anybody who wants that service of having a camera on
there
your
are
doorbell,
ways to do this shit that's self-hosted that never leaves your
absolutely
network.
And again, this is a situation where people are starting to wake up and go, oh fuck, this is not a good thing. And there's a fair number of people when this story got out took a hammer to their ring doorbell.
Good.
And
that's the right reaction.
Yep. So that's been a big part of that. So it's definitely worth looking into. If you currently have a Ring camera on your house, it's time to get that shit out of there.
Take the hammer.
Yeah.
Get the hammer.
I know it's a fun process, and it's nice to have the ability to see who's at the door and let them in, or find out if grandma got home okay and that kind of thing. But
there's other ways to accomplish this.
Yeah, please understand what you're really opening up, because it just so happens that they're happy to give all of your shit to the government whenever they want
and
it.
That's exactly it. And I remember, I don't even remember what the exact circumstances were, but I was in some place. I think it may have been when I was working in the bookstore, and there was a commercial that came over the radio that was playing.
I remember radio
store or the music system. It was playing store wide. This is before the store opened, and there was an advertisement that came on it that was obviously just lying bullshit. And I was getting visibly mad. And one of my coworkers went, "What are you getting so mad about? What is just a stupid ad? Don't worry about it." And I was like, "No, it's not about how stupid they think we are. They know we're not this stupid. This is how stupid they want us to be.
Yeah.
They're trying to make us be this stupid.
Yeah.
Where they're because a human's instinct is to get to normal, no matter what, no matter how bad normal is. We want normal. That's the process of normalization, is how all of this heinous shit gets in.
Yeah.
So that whole thing, it's just finding dogs. That's part of that. That is them trying to train us.
How can you get mad about that?
Yeah.
Gee whiz, you're taking it all the way to surveillance state? Guys, that's not cool. We're just trying to save the dogs.
Remember in The Dark Knight when fucking Lucius Fox went, I know you did, when fucking Batman had his we're accessing every camera in the city.
This is exactly what came up.
It's like fucking Lucius knew.
Yeah.
And
also the joke was that, he was smart enough to give that power back to Lucius.
Destroy it afterwards.
The fucking toilet. But, it's very easy for them to go, I mean, it did a lot of good in this situation, so we should probably keep this.
This will only ever be used for good, right?
Okay. Fuck. Anyway, things just get better. So Highguard, I talked about Highguard before.
Yes, you did.
It's just been
things didn't go so great.
It's just the fact that that's where the Shire link. No, this is Aftermath actually. Here's the long and the short of it. Gamers don't know what they want.
Really? What a shock.
Content creators have positioned themselves as the voice of the gamer. It's established that negative content consistently drives engagement. Everything sucks has become the prevailing attitude cultivated by these personalities. So this is the takeaway right now from this game. So this week they announced that they're laying off the bulk of the staff of the company that developed the game. So they've effectively already said, no, we're fucked. The numbers were very strong at launch, but there was a lot of negative attention, obviously, on launch. People said, "Oh, let's just see how bad this is," and then immediately wanted to shit on it.
Yeah,
and there's a bunch of great articles.
We call that the Anthem effect.
Yeah, well, it's just part of it, and it starts out as question what's being given to you, and that's fine. You should not accept everything as that it's going to be the best thing since sliced bread, but maybe don't immediately dogpile on it. But as they said, content creators over the last couple of years, thanks to enshittification and thanks to the fucking algorithm, they are rewarded for the negative shit. If you were to look at any one of these people's pages and you look at all the videos they post, negative videos invariably get way more attention from the system. Mm-hmm. And so they were incentivized. When that trailer hit at the Game Awards, there was blood in the water because it wasn't a great trailer. And it was also, people were immediately unhappy about the fact that this was the big reveal of the show. And so the content creators went, oh, fuck yeah, and knew that this was going to be catnip for the haters. And so dozens and dozens of the shitty people online that live for negativity bathed in it for this game, and the Concord 2.0 shit and all of these. Let's make sure that this game is a giant failure no matter what, despite the fact that this was made by an independent company with full of passionate game developers. This was not a megacorp lowest common denominator slop game. I'm not saying it was going to be the best game ever, but it needed some time to breathe, and they were prepared for that. They were prepared for this game to build over the course of the year. They gave it a roadmap. They said, this is how we're going to play it out. And a lot of people were willing, a lot of streamers were giving it a fair shake on launch, but the haters propagated as much hate as they could. And a lot of the gamers, when the moment it launched on Steam, it was assaulted with negative reviews from people who could not have possibly played it, but it still counted. So the story is, oh, look, it's an overwhelmingly negative reaction immediately. And that's a failure on Steam's part to let you review a game with absolutely no actual gameplay. I mean, they couldn't have even gotten through the initial tutorial before they could have written that review. But that's what the system allows. It's similar to the Melania, how the Rotten Tomatoes audience score was extremely high. And that audience score is theoretically tied to ticket sales on Fandango. So you have to either prove it or you have to have bought a ticket through Fandango to post that review. But there was enough people out there that were motivated or just basically paid to
I think paid
pump it. Yeah, exactly. So they, the reason why it grossed $9 million in that first weekend was because they grossly.
We know they were like pressuring military people to go.
Oh, absolutely. And they straight up gave them the money to buy the ticket so that they could post a positive review to Rotten Tomatoes, knowing that the critical review was going to be 0. And then they could say, look, the critics did 0, but the people said 99% love it. So this is clearly the work of the people. And then, it was playing to empty theaters because people that were buying blocks of tickets couldn't get enough people to actually go see the film, but it didn't matter because all that mattered was numbers. So anyway, this is something similar in that Steam, as long as you click on download, because it was a free to play, and that might have been their biggest mistake.
Yeah.
Had this been a beta and just a beta launch or something, but it was
access,
something like that. And then they could have probably mitigated it. But anyway. So the fact that these people are out of business, a lot of people are out of a job that worked their asses off for years on this game to try to make something fun for people to play. And now you've locked down that the only multiplayer games that are going to come out now are going to be Call of Duty, Roblox, Fortnite. That's it. Enjoy yourselves.
We know all the ICE motherfuckers are playing Call of Duty. So,
oh, fuck yeah.
All right. Anyway, sorry, Highguard. I was going to say Nextlander, the guys from Nextlander have been doing some very good coverage of Highguard. They've been very even-handed with it.
Sure.
And by all accounts, it really did need some work.
Yeah.
It was not the best, but it also wasn't
It was
horrible.
an odd game, but they said themselves, we don't need this to be a massive hit out of the gate. We've got a long-term plan. We just need to have a base that's willing to stick with us while we do this. But when it's got the stink of failure on it because they put it on it,
that's it.
They just said, all right, I guess we're fucking done. And now they have to do something else, I guess.
So Arc Raiders.
Yeah, I mentioned that Arc Raiders sold 14 million copies, which is amazing for an extraction shooter. It's
Yeah.
that it is an extraction shooter, which was a niche, and somehow I mean, they're going to have to study how this was a massive success. I'm not saying it's a bad game by any stretch. It's a very good game for what it is. And they took a genre that was considered to be poisonous because of the very nature of an extraction shooter. It means you could lose everything. But people were invested in that world, and they liked the idea of it. And people didn't have to kill each other. People could work together, and the game encouraged that. Like, you work with other teams, everybody gets to extract. Hey, look, as opposed to saying, no, only certain teams can extract. You got to kill each other, otherwise, yada, yada. So, and it's been a massive success. And again, inexpensive, not free, but enough that they pay their bills. Now it's a big hit. They can keep it going for years, because it is still a live service game. But yeah, that studio gets to continue, and I'm assuming they didn't lay off the entire group.
Yeah.
Riot Games had they created a beat 'em up, 2XCO or something like that, based on the League of Legends universe. It wasn't an immediate success, so they murdered the dev team. Just boom, like that. No time. Like, no, we're not going to let this build. We've just decided it's a failure. We've let it. It is what it is. We've let everybody go.
We're used to this now. This is just the
Yeah.
story. If it's not an immediate success,
Yeah.
it's a failure.
And
right?
and we're finally getting to the point where people in the industry are going, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I can't. So good devs are quitting. And I'm sure it's been happening for over a decade, 2 decades now, where more and more good devs are just completely checking out.
It is an apocalypse on every front, right? Like, it's we're always gonna have the fucking Call of Duties or Maddens or whatever. Like, that's always going to be a thing.
Yep.
But anything else, no. There's going to be that, and there's going to be weird little indies, and there's going to be retro games, and that's it.
So
right? That's
PlayStation did their state of play. I didn't put this in the notes. I'm not going to get into historically, I've gone through all of the titles that were announced and whatever, but the real takeaway was they focused on the big boys. Resident Evil 9, obviously. People thought they were going to announce a new God of War game, but instead they announced what they did for everything else. Here's a remaster of the games that we've already bought multiple times.
Uh-huh.
So they announced that they're developing the God of War trilogy remaster or remake or whatever. So they're going to redo those games again. In the same way they announced the next Metal Gear Solid remake of the 4 and Peace Walker, and half the titles that they announced were basically remasters of classic games. And then a surprising number of Metroidvania games, side-scrolling. One of them literally Castlevania. The next Castlevania game is a very nice-looking side-scrolling, not 2D, it's 2D, but not pixel art, but it's animated basically. It looks really nice. It's nice. It looks like an excellent Castlevania type game. But they also shadow dropped the God of War side scroller with young Kratos basically as a young Spartan, and there was also Legacy of Kain, which is a 90s game series that never quite took off, but is beloved, and they've done a side scroller for that. And it was just kind of comical how many side scrollers they dropped that are coming soon, because obviously it's not nearly as difficult to develop and release those as it is a full-fledged mega release. But this is where we are. You can have a dedicated indie team of a dozen people that work on a game for a year, and then the God of War one is $40 American. I'm not paying $40 for that experience. I'm sure they moved a lot for it, but at least it's not $100 fucking dollars.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, but this is it. So there's, and even the Castlevania game they've said is going to be like, I think $40 or $50. So, again, reasonable price game, several hours of entertainment, and you just move on. You don't have to worry about it being
only
live
way
service.
forward. Like, it's
Sure.
making things that people can afford, turns out, is the only way to sell things. I don't know if people have figured that out yet. But.
So, with AI taking all of our jobs, then these people don't have the disposable income anymore to buy 007 First Light, which looks great. I don't think it's $100 fucking dollars. It'll probably be $80, but they're pushing it. So it's a brave new world. Everything's fine.
Speaking of Brave New World, good segue. Done. Discord, huh? Thing happened with Discord this week. Boy, it sure did. So, okay. Yeah, Discord's going to require age verification starting next month, I think it is. And so people are mad. Of course they are, because age verification is bullshit. And of course, this is the way everything is going. So yeah, this is an ongoing situation. My takeaway, just based on the position I'm sitting in, is everyone's mad. People are canceling their nitros, et cetera, et cetera. I haven't had nitro for years, so big deal. I also don't think that, like, Discord is so entrenched at this point. People are not willing to do what it really takes to react to this. People are going to have an outrage, but then they're going to do it anyway. Like, that's just the way it's going to be. Discord's not going anywhere. Discord is fine.
The resistance at this point has been canceling your nitro.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
and that does hurt them. It hits them in the pocketbook, because that's what they want, is people to buy.
This is all part of their IPO. This is all part of them going public, right? They have to do this to appease the shareholders, but it's not going to hurt them in the long run. Like, people will cancel their nitro for a month and then they will resub. Like, this is just the way.
I gotta have my emojis.
Coming from one of the people who actually escaped the orbit of Microsoft and all that kind of stuff. I know how hard it is. Like, I understand that, and nobody gets out of that all in one go.
The joke going around was. The comic would be the gamer saying, "Goodbye, TeamSpeak. Don't need you anymore. I've got Discord now." And then the next panel, 10 years later, is like, "Bye, Discord. Hello, old friend," and bringing TeamSpeak back. I mean, they're still around.
One of the things that people are doing, I mean, that I'm seeing a lot of course, because of the circles that I run in, is just like, well, now what do we do? Well, now where are we going, right? But that's a noble thing, and Again, I know this from the Fediverse. I know this. Blue Sky is the example of this. Mm-hmm. People did not stick to the Fediverse because it was too hard and too complicated, and they had to do some work, and they had to figure stuff out. And the second you present them with a choice, they're out. Mm-hmm. That's it. They're done. There's no going past that for the majority of people. And that was the bulk of the Fediverse. Most people backed out of Mastodon with the second they had to pick a server. Yep. That was the thing that they backed out of, right? So it's like, when you get to that point, you've lost the majority of people. Yep. The reason Blue Sky took over, and the reason I have a lot of problems with Blue Sky, is their whole pretext about being decentralized. They're not. Did you pick a server? No. Then it's not decentralized. Right. Like, Blue Sky is Blue Sky. Mm-hmm. But that's why it won, because nobody had to think about it. It was just other Twitter. Yeah, that's the thing.
100%.
People do not want to do any work. I'm getting frustrated because of this, but this is what I keep coming up against, because this is the thing that I have finally, and with a lot of work, escaped the orbit of. And it is something that you, as a user, have to do. You have to change your thinking. Mm-hmm. You have to stop looking for the thing that is a one-to-one drop-in replacement, right? That is the problem. People go, well, I need, Adobe Premiere, or I need Photoshop, or I need this, or I need that. And the thing that is, if there is a FOSS version of this that will do exactly that thing in exactly the way I know, and that I don't have to do any work for, I'll use it. But there is nothing like that. So I'm not willing to do any work. I'm not willing to change my thinking. The software has to accommodate me. And that is what you're never going to have. Mm-hmm. You have to be flexible. Mm-hmm. You have to change how you approach things. Software is a tool. You can learn to use many tools. If you learn to use a hammer, it doesn't mean you can't learn to use a screwdriver. Like, that is just where we're at.
I totally understood why we jumped to Discord for game chat.
Oh yeah.
Game chat was 100% better.
Discord
better option.
is objectively fantastic at what they do.
Right.
Like they're great.
But I hate that they've become the de facto support forum. That's bullshit. It's a horrible platform for that.
Their ability, like, this is why we should have never left forums for this kind of thing, because there's no archival thing, there's no ability to search. It's like there is no history with Discord.
Yeah, it's impossible to get that information. It's terrible for support, and yet I don't get why the company said no, go to our Discord for solutions.
Yeah,
like.
Well, because history and archives don't matter. It's all about real time now.
Yeah, well,
right.
They want you to just ask a chatbot for an answer, and it'll give you the wrong answer, and you'll go, "Thank you, chatbot." Oh no, I've accidentally deleted all my shit. That was just a side note. There was a story, some acolyte had given his chatbot the power. He wanted to clean up his wife's desktop.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And gave it the ability.
Claude. It was Claude.
Yeah, exactly. And then gave it access. It said, "Hey, Chief, I need access to the admin rights to be able to finish that off." And yeah, no problem. And then said, "Great, okay, I apologize profusely for this." It literally said this to him. Basically, "I apologize profusely, but I seem to have deleted all of your wife's photos." Like it explained how it fucked up. Because of the Mac, and you can't have two things with the same name, even if it's got caps and one doesn't. And it obliterated decades of photos.
And there's no backups.
And all because this dickhead, A, he left it all in one place, and B, he gave this fucking chatbot the power to clean the desktop. Fuck you. You deserve that. And I hope she divorced you for it.
Oh, yeah.
But man, it's just I loved that. I love that. It just all these cautionary tales about people giving the chatbot the power, the admin rights to their fucking computer.
Well, that's because we've been sold this bullshit that they're agentic. This is the new buzzword, of course, is agentic, and it's a lie. It is just a marketing term. I mean, AI is a fucking marketing term, anyway. Yeah, Discord, it's not going anywhere. I wish it were. There are alternatives. Yes. FYI, I have to speak up for this coming from the world that I come from. Mm-hmm. But yes, there are some alternatives. I will be frank, none of them are as good as Discord. Right. None of them do the thing that Discord does in the way that Discord does it. And until something does, it's not going to be considered.
But the very fact that this has made people Google Discord alternatives.
Yeah.
Any company that has been working on it is now incentivized more so.
There's all kinds of FOSS developers now going, right? And this is, I mean, when I did the interview with Fireside Fetty, we didn't use Discord. There's a service that he self-hosts that we did the video call on, and it was fantastic. It was every bit as good as Discord. We did it real time. You can go and watch the interview, and that was a video call done on a self-hosted service. Mm-hmm. It was fantastic.
Tools are there.
These things exist, but you do have to do something to accomplish that.
The inshitification has incentivized more and more people, which is great.
It is. The thing is, it is going to drive some people out, which is always good. It's never like. Linux is never going to be the top thing. It's never going to be the majority of people switch. That's not how reality works.
And as mentioned on the Discord, ironically enough, this could be a sales vector for you.
Well, we were talking about this because I saw somebody had posted like there's a tool somebody's made online for like you can just this is the thing that drove me nuts. When I actually read how you do the age verification process, and it's like it turns on your camera and it tells you to pose, basically.
Yep.
Turn your head, open your mouth. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, that is the creepiest fucking thing I have ever heard. This anonymous thing on Discord telling me to pose for it. Oh my God.
Tilt your head down. Look up.
Yeah.
Open your mouth.
Okay,
wider.
Pout.
Wider.
Can you pout? Arch your back.
Cry. Cry for me. One of the things I thought was interesting is that it's not just the picture. It'll actually study what you do on Discord and then determine your age based on your use.
Yeah. Oh, that's turning it over to an AI thing. It's all
Yeah.
trying to
Here, look at this person and tell me if they're
now. Remember, folks, they're going public. They want to sell shit, and one of the shit things they want to sell is you and your data to the fucking AI companies.
And it's also funny that didn't they get approached by Microsoft or somebody? Somebody wanted to buy Discord outright years ago.
Sony bought a bunch of them. This is why they got on PS5 first,
Right.
and then Microsoft also owns a piece of it, and that's why they got.
But
on
that's not
Xbox.
Now they want an IPO because fuck you.
No. But anything like Discord will fuck you. Like
Yeah.
there is no question.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there's this online tool that somebody's made that apparently works that will just like it's a 3D model of an adult male with a beard that you can like manipulate in real time. It's a digital puppet.
Yeah, it's a
basically.
VTuber.
And so we were
Yeah.
like brainstorming on the Discord. I was like, wait, it's a puppet. Wait, it's a puppet. I can
do that.
I can make a puppet.
Hey kids, want to get on the adult Discords?
What
Go to
if-
operationpuppet.com.
What if I just made a puppet that was human proportioned that you could just puppeteer in real time in front of your fucking webcam? Now, it's a joke thing, obviously, because otherwise you could just go and download this free tool. Like,
And then like,
You don't have-
we
you
want
don't
you to
have to
blink
pay me.
eyes. I can make a blink mech. That's easy
yeah,
enough.
You don't have to pay me hundreds of dollars to buy a puppet.
But you
go
can.
and download this free thing. But still, I'm like, I would do this just as a fucking personal satisfaction experiment.
Yeah.
I will tell you this right now. I am not doing that fucking age verification thing.
No.
There's nothing on Discord I need to access that requires age verification. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it, but I'll try with a puppet. You're fucking right, I will. And so that for me is now a personal challenge. Can I make a puppet that will fool the Discord age verification thing? TBD.
Let's see what happens.
That's where we are.
Another thing I noted, so amongst all the other releases, the Capcom, so they got a little notification because they released I don't want to use the word classic, the celebrated Dino Crisis PS1 games.
Okay.
Dino Crisis.
I mean,
Dino
I've
Crisis
heard of
2.
it.
Right, I never even played them either. They were basically kind of a side Resident Evil thing.
All
where
right.
It was basically you were a woman fighting dinosaurs is what it comes down to.
Sure.
Kind of Jurassic Park, Resident Evil style.
The classic story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it was successful enough that they did 2 of them, and they just came out on Steam with horrible, shitty DRM
Of
because
course.
Capcom.
Because Capcom.
Capcom they just don't get it. But the utterly insane thing, they're on GOG with no DRM, sold by Capcom, and it's cheaper. But if you want to play it on Steam, here is not just DRM, but the kind of DRM that breaks shit, that is known to break shit, and also
Denuvo.
heavily compromise the performance.
Yeah.
And it's just
That smells like Denuvo.
fucking amazing. For games that are not new, these are old ass games.
Here's the fun part about Denuvo. All right, for a Linux user. It does work on Linux, but let's say your game that you're trying to run that has Denuvo DRM in
Actually,
it.
it's Enigma Protector.
Oh, that's even different. But I'm sure this is the same. If you are because you can switch around Proton versions, right? And some games work better with some versions of Proton, and so some older versions, some newer versions. Sometimes there's like hot fixes and stuff that comes down. Every time for Denuvo, I know this for a fact because it's happened to be with Dragon's Dogma 2, which was published by Capcom. Surprisingly enough, if you change Proton versions, you have 5 activations.
Jesus Christ.
So if you change Proton versions more than 5 times in 24 hours, you can't play your game.
Nice.
So yeah, fuck that.
But this is the same DRM that they added to their Resident Evil 4 remake, which isn't, it says years old, but Jesus, did it come out that long ago, the remake of Resident Evil 4? Anyway, they added it after the fact to the Steam version, and the performance tanked.
Right.
It was notably worse, and expressly because of this fucking DRM. And the fact that we're still having this conversation, this far past the old days where DRM fucked performance for everything, is just stunning. And you could have argued it for online games, anything that involved you having to play with other people. Yeah, sure. No, I get it. You want to make sure that everybody's on the up and up, and that they're not stealing shit.
But this isn't anti-cheat. This is DRM. This is for pirating.
Yeah, and it's just fucking amazing how dumb they are. But here we are.
Yep. All right. Anyway, from a bad thing to a possibly good thing, although there's some weirdness swirling around this. So No Man's Sky has dumped another update. Surprise, surprise.
Speaking of garbage.
And it's a bit unexpected. I think so. I haven't actually had a chance to play it yet. I'll say that. I watched the trailer. I went, okay, cool, because it is basically you become like a junk hauler. It is scrapping toxic waste on planet surfaces and.
Well, I played it.
Okay, good.
I mean, I played it because I thought for sure you were going to be already complete. The whole thing.
No, I haven't. I'm going to.
No, I know you're going.
I'm
just surprised.
I'm going to play it in VR. I'm waiting for the weekend so I can boot into my fucking Windows install and play it in VR.
I don't think people like it.
Yeah, it seems like there's some not so great response to it, which is weird.
I started it on Wednesday or Thursday because I played it. No, I guess it was Wednesday. I first played it. I got through the first phase. Effectively the tutorial phase of the expedition. Right. And then the next day when I fired it up, because I don't play in multiplayer, I turn all that off. And yet the next day when I fired it up, there were comms everywhere. Like there was just a shitload of comms elements. So people were dropping comms beacons in the game with messages. And obviously they were putting them on places you were supposed to go, so that you didn't have to, play the game to figure out where to go. You could just tell you where to go. But at least one comm I passed it said something, I don't remember exactly what it said, but it was just something derogatory about the expedition. So I was surprised. And this person obviously made a decision very early on that they needed to let the world know that this is not what they wanted. I don't love the control of the exocraft.
Yeah.
It's part so you're basically hauling toxic waste in a lot of ways. You use your gravity gun, which is good. It's not great. It feels like it's going to get some work. I don't think it's finished by any means, but you pick up there's regular waste and then there's special waste. And the special waste you have to take to a special depot to dispose of it properly. And it's a very simple game. You just have to know which one to put it in. There's 4 different types that are out there, three special types and 1 regular type. Anyway, so you pick up the containers and they put them in the back of your hauler, and they roll around in the back. So the map for this level is very hilly, and you have to be kind of careful. Like it's got kind of like a grav walls of the truck.
Now I'm rethinking playing it in VR because
what
the exocraft controls in VR. Oh, not good.
Frankly, no. Yeah, don't play it in VR because the problem is you basically control the craft using the camera movement. Mm-hmm. So it follows wherever you're positioning the camera.
Now maybe I think I will do it in VR just to see it.
The problem is there are holes. And if you fall into a hole, the camera goes apeshit. Mm. So I had one where I was doing quite well. And then for whatever reason, I lost forward progress and I started rolling backwards despite the fact that I was hitting the boost, and I ended up falling into a hole, and then the camera of course goes apeshit, and I'm like, what the fuck? So rather than just save scum, I figured, I'm just gonna play this out. So you get stuck in the hole, and it's obviously it's very flexible with letting you get out of a hole for the most part, but sometimes you're stuck in a hole. And luckily,
Look, folks, sometimes you're just stuck in a hole.
and you're given the tools to manipulate the terrain for your requirements. So you could dig yourself out of the hole. But you also have to go back and pick up the stuff that you dropped and put it in. So
It all seems logical to me
Right.
so far.
is it fun?
Yeah. Well, fun is,
It ain't building a Corvette, I'll tell you that much.
So what I've seen on the subreddit at least is people going, look, like, this is No Man's Sky. You've got fucking tools. Like, so I've seen people going, look, build a highway.
Yeah.
Build a highway.
Yep.
Find a place where there's a lot of scrap, and then the refiner is it a refiner that you have to go to?
Yeah,
Something like
yeah,
that, or an
exactly.
incinerator, or something. And then just literally build a road between them. And
I don't
just use the
I don't
road.
think this is the thing though, is that the rewards, at least initially, are not worth the work that it would
Right.
take to build a proper highway. I'm not going to say a lot
No.
more than that, but
I get it, but like the thing, and I really echo. I've seen this sentiment both directions about this is not a good expedition. Also, let's be real. How old is this game?
yeah,
And
how old is this game?
free.
Yeah. How much did you pay for the
Like,
expansion?
yeah.
Oh, nothing?
Yeah.
Cool. And
No.
and are you
You're-
being held at gunpoint to play it?
Yeah.
No? Okay.
No, you
Then just
don't-
keep playing the game regularly.
Yeah, you don't like it, don't play it. That's fine.
I don't like that they've added garbage to the game.
This
I hope, and I don't know if it's the case or not, that it's only going to be on select planets.
I got a follow-up story there for you, and it's not good, unfortunately. So I just saw this post today. Hopefully they will address this, and I think there's been enough of a stink about this that they hopefully will do something about it. But there was somebody posted on the subreddit, which is a pretty major hub for the No Man's Sky community, that there was a paradise planet that some people had found, and like a whole group of friends, and they had like basically colonized the planet. They had built multiple settlements over a large swath of this paradise planet many, many years ago. They've been building it for years and years and years. Some of the people who helped them build it are no longer with us, so they were basically turned into memorials for these people and that kind of thing. And it was this beautiful thing that they have spent years and years and years building, and now it's full of garbage. And they're like, the fuck? Like, now it used to be this beautiful, wonderful place that we could go and chill out and remember our friends who are no longer with us. And now it's like a fucking garbage pile.
They've already got planets that are identified as like scrap planets.
Yeah.
Where you can do
It
that.
seems to be random. That's the problem. It populated.
It needs to be on those planets.
Yeah.
If that's 100% the way it should be, is that you should, when you find that planet, you're like, cool, I can do my garbage picking on that planet.
But the problem is it populated already existing planets
That's
with
the
that
problem.
stuff.
That's
and
not
it
good.
it wasn't selective.
and this
about
feels
that,
like
right?
something they can easily roll back, especially if the audience.
So what
says,
the
are you doing?"
suggestion is like, just let us be able to clean it up and have it stay cleaned up.
Yes,
That is
persistent.
the.
It's
yeah.
funny because I believe there's a similar element in Star Citizen
Oh yeah.
where there was people were leaving shit on planets and they wanted it to be persistent, but it wasn't because Star Citizen.
Yeah.
And so it would be interesting if it just still keeps randomly populating garbage because, well, you need the garbage to do the missions.
Well, that's the thing. Like in No Man's Sky right now, like say for example, you did some terrain manipulation in a place, like you dug a hole or you built something up. It will eventually go back.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? It does over time. It does manipulate back. So this would be that, but the opposite.
And again, this is still just a couple days old, so I'm guessing they're going to do some
early
revisions.
days,
But
early days.
at this point, it seems like, at least on this initial planet, that the garbage around the map is just regular garbage,
Yeah.
which is not valuable. And you could make a game out of cleaning up the planet, and that's fine. But again, I'm guessing that garbage will come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks. The special waste is, I believe, only at waste facilities. So you have to get in the thing, find a waste facility, drive there manually. You can't fly there. So that takes 10 minutes to get to the place. Then you pick up the stuff. Then you have to carefully drive it to the nearest
Yeah.
waste disposal site. And again, side game. side element.
Oh yeah, no, I
Not
don't. I think
primary at all.
obviously, I think the furor has been overblown. But the thing I get is good is that this is clearly an attempt that they are making to make Exocraft more like have a point.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
since Corvettes, Exocraft have really been left in the dust
Yeah, all of
because
them, yeah.
because Corvettes can hover and you can just get out of them.
As someone who's only just really started playing recently,
Yeah.
I do not see the point in almost any of the Exocraft, including the Minotaur. I finished the Minotaur mission, and now I've got an AI Minotaur. I will probably never use it.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
That is one that's neat in VR. I gotta say,
Oh, sure.
to get in that thing when you're in VR and like because it's tank controls, right? So it's like it actually is very cool to control in VR, and the jump jets in VR is very cool. But yeah, anyway,
At the very least, it's a new.
it's fucking
it's a new
free,
thing to
folks.
play.
Like just I know, let them cook.
Yep.
It's Hello Games. We have faith.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So here's a new old thing. I picked up Diablo 4 again.
Okay.
Because I was a whole bunch of new stuff. The 30th anniversary has come around. There's a new expansion pack coming down the road. And I was just curious enough that I'm like, all right, let's have a look at this. So I one of the things that it's tough. I'm conflicted. I
Sure.
don't know how well I'm going to stick with it because I do enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. But I'm also like, I think Warframe has spoiled me in some ways because it is very monetized, right? And it really, really wants you to spend money. The way that the Battle Pass works just feels kind of icky. And I used to really like how the seasons worked because like every season you just start fresh. You start creating a new character and you have nothing and you just go. And I used to really like that because I do like the early levels. I like leveling. I like starting over. That's always been fun to me.
Yep.
But since I've been playing Warframe for so long and I've got into that mentality, you will hear a word bantered around Warframe build circles that is very common, and it's investment, right? And Warframe very much takes this model where you are always building towards something. You are putting time and resources into a thing and you're working towards it. And so it is very much playing the long game, right? And I've just kind of got into that mindset. And that is a very good and healthy and helpful. It feels very positive. You're not taking huge leaps and bounds, but you're always making little steps forward and you are working towards a thing, and it feels good. It feels very, very positive. And so I've got out of the appreciation of starting over because I cannot get emotionally invested in a character that I know is going away next season.
Absolutely.
Right? That is the thing that I pushed back against.
I always had issues with Endgame anyway with Diablo. Like,
Yeah.
I never felt like there was an incentive for me to keep going with that character in the main world. Once you've completed the story, I didn't see that. I mean, even if you max out the Paragon level, now you can just walk around and kill shit. So I know that they are going to make some very big changes.
There are some more big changes coming down the road.
I guess we're not going to find out about it until March 9th.
There's been some new stuff coming.
But March 9th, they're going to do a big talk about the new expansion and all that.
It's in April is the new expansion.
Yeah.
I have actually pre-ordered it. I will.
Yeah, no, I wanted to play the Paladin. I said, "Fuck it, here. I'm gonna play it." You guys got me into it, and because I was resistant to the Diablo lore until it wasn't until Legacy of what was the expansion for 3?
Oh gosh, there was the Necromancer.
No, but there was the actual expansion set that came out that I bought with the one nice white box. Anyway, that was that was the one where I got into it, and I'm like, oh fuck, shit, and then I was addicted, and so I keep coming back to it. I played last season. They did change the season structure, which makes it easier to get all of the.
Here's the thing that actually made me go, oh, So, of course, there are the seasonal characters, and then there's the Eternal Realm.
Right.
And the Eternal Realm is where your seasonal character gets thrown when the season is over.
Yeah.
It doesn't just delete, but there was never like a point to playing the Eternal Realm characters.
Yeah.
Well, and this is just how long it's been since I played Diablo 4. I haven't played since they changed the battle pass.
Okay.
Right.
Right. The
So,
reliquary now.
Now, because it's all this currency based thing,
Mm-hmm.
you can earn that currency in the Eternal Realm.
Okay.
So now there is a point. You could still get all of the rewards from the battle pass, but still also play in the Eternal Realm. You just don't do the special like seasonal bonuses.
Right. Yeah.
And all that kind of
They
stuff.
limit what you can only unlock one section of the reliquary unless you pay for the battle pass.
Yeah, there's
And
that.
that's fine.
I mean, sure,
Again, all cosmetic.
that is what it is, and it is all cosmetic, and I don't give a shit. Honestly, this is we talked about this before, but this is like the silliest thing.
Yep.
And it kind of makes sense for them to do, but it's like, think about it. It's Diablo.
And
your character is 12 pixels tall.
100
You never
absolutely.
see them. Why do you care
And
about
you do-
cosmetics?
You do feel pretty dumb, and I still have. I'm guilty of saying, you know what, fuck it, it's $10 here, and then as of now, you can still earn currency in that battle pass that you can hopefully get enough. It's not like every season, but like every 3 or 4 seasons, you'll have earned enough currency to pay for that season. So whatever. I if I'm gonna put the time into it, I like unlocking shit. I mean, that's I'm a fool for that. I don't hate the battle pass system as a rule. I enjoyed it in Destiny when I would play through Destiny. It was nice to unlock shit. I like the ding.
I'm absolutely with you.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm a fucking Warframe player. Like, what do I know? You
So
know.
so I haven't played the new season yet. I finished the last season. I don't say early, but I mean, and once I did not complete the season, the seasonal element, but I unlocked all of it. Like, there's a lot of sub things you can get, but I unlocked all of the main cosmetics, and I unlocked all the reliquary stuff. And I said, yeah, I didn't max out the seasonal affection. Like there was a whole system last season involving the boss abilities that you could use, and you can level those up. I didn't have to. Usually you have to max that shit out in order to unlock the final stage stuff for the season. And this time you really don't have to. It's like I had a good enough build. It was a pretty powerful build. I did the hammer build where the hammers spin around the paladin, and it was very powerful. The aura paladin it's stupidly overpowered, and I guess it still is this season. And it's literally aura. You don't do anything. It's just a ring of pain surrounding the character that just kills everything that comes near it, like the bubble you were playing earlier. And
we'll talk about that.
yeah. So I mean, it's still, it is. If you don't like the build, or it's powerful but it's no fun, then don't play it. Reroll.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a system now where you can save your settings and keep that spec and respec for whatever else. You have to change the gear, obviously, but they want you to get into that. But
this is what brought me into it, and I only discovered this, I think, last night, was that, like, oh wait, if I can still earn the battle pass currency playing in the Eternal Realm, it means that I at least have a point. Like, I have at least a character that I can just keep in the Eternal Realm, and I can keep playing that character, and I can invest in that character and just keep gradually working on it and pushing to end game and getting all the mythic gear and doing all of the things and getting a really super overpowered stupid build and keep it. Right? That is the thing. It's I get to keep that character.
The difficulty currently, and I'm not sure if this is still an issue this season, it probably is once you get to like Paragon 250, ultra grind.
Sure,
like
but,
that. The last 50.
I'm fine with that.
And this is it. I'm the same way. Like I get around 200. I'm like, I'm good. They talk. The real goal is, how fast can you run pit 100 or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's a self-imposed goal. There's almost no reward to that. It's simply, can you do it? There is a leaderboard. You want to go ham? You want to poop socket? That's all.
We got shit like that at Warframe too. I'll talk to you about damage cap and level cap.
So I mean,
same thing.
But it's. I'm glad you're playing it. I'm gonna fire up a new character for the new season, because they're currently running
The lunar. There's a bug, FYI.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I encountered this, and I thought that I had done something wrong until I looked on the subreddit, and other people are experiencing it too. There's a bug wherein you will get reward caches from the Lunar New Year event that will say you need to complete this particular quest that's in the new area, the Undercity thing. That you will have completed because you will have had to have completed to get to this point, but it will think that you haven't, and there's no way to actually do it because you've already done it, and so you can't open the caches, and so you just have to throw them away. So yeah, there's a bug. Hopefully they will fix it soon, but yes, it is a bug. There's a bug. I keep having to throw away caches because I can't open them because it says it doesn't think I've done a quest I've already done and have no way of doing. Side note, I really wished there were a better journal system in Diablo 4 because there is no way to see the quests you have done that you have finished and unlocked.
Once they're done, they're done. They're done. They don't exist anymore.
So that's not great.
Anyway, it's still a vital game. They're putting a lot into it.
Apparently it's their best seller ever.
It's a big fucking deal, and people are happy to play it, and you can still pick it up on sale. And
I'm pretty happy to be back. I'm pretty okay, yeah, no, this is a good palate cleanser from Warframe that still does the things I like to do. It's still grindy. It's still but because of this Eternal Realm thing, it means that I have a reason to at least have one character in the Eternal Realm that is my forever character that I can still invest in, and I can care about that character because they're still going to be there.
They pushed for synergy because they announced the new class, the Warlord class.
Warlock
class. Fuck, I knew I'd screw that up. But the fact that they released it for Diablo Immortal,
this is hilarious,
and Diablo 2 Resurrected.
So it's okay, we're giving you a new class in Diablo 4, 2, and Immortal. 3? We never heard of 3. What's 3?
What?
3? No, there's no such thing as 3.
It's interesting how, obviously 2 Resurrected is newer than 3, but
it's still
okay,
it's still
that's
pretty
fine,
for fuck's sakes, guys. Anyway, 3 was great. Anyway, yeah. So Diablo 4, I'm back-ish.
Yeah.
It's a side thing.
Yeah, you're still
right?
fully into the other game, and you haven't gotten into the new No Man's Sky. It's a 6-week expedition.
Yeah,
it ain't gonna take 6 weeks.
I'm not in a hurry, and like I say, I do want to do it in VR because I do almost everything in No Man's Sky in VR. So yeah, I will be probably this weekend. I'll pop in at some point. So anyway, we're gonna end it. We're actually okay for time. We're fine.
Oh, you're not gonna Warframe?
We are gonna Warframe as the last.
Okay,
thing.
that's fair.
So yes, I did. Oh, when I started doing you know what? I think I could make some pretty good Warframe content. I have some ideas. The one thing I said I wasn't going to do was build videos. Mm-hmm. And I've now spent enough time in Warframe and have enough theory under my belt. And again, this just speaks to the kind of game that Warframe is, that it is, you do kind of have to study it. And there's so much intricacy in it that you really can internalize it, but it does take time. I've got to the point now where I can start not necessarily doing builds from scratch, but doing enough, getting enough of a foundation and then tinkering with that foundation.
You understand what's happening.
Yeah.
It's like me with Diablo builds. I go to Icy Veins. Tell me what's the alpha right now.
This is the other thing that I'm doing with my Eternal Realm character, to go back to Diablo 4 just briefly, which does actually relate to this, this conversation. I decided, because I'm kind of emboldened by this sort of newfound, okay, wait, I understand the math of what's going on here. I understand the power interactions. I understand the synergies. It's all basically the same thing. It's all about this power does this, and then that affects this, and it's all...
Is it multiplicative?
Yeah,
Is it
multiplicative, additive, exactly.
Does the system ignore it?
Got to play fucking Warframe.
No, dude,
Dear
this comes back to Destiny again. I know
it's all theory crafting.
They're all in the same universe. They all play the same math games.
Math is math.
Yeah.
And it really does all boil down to math.
Yep.
So I've got enough of that internalized now that
it appeals to a certain type type of person.
It kind of
I'm not
does.
going to get into specifics, but certain people are drawn to this stuff.
It's true. It's absolutely
To roll
true.
back, this is what scared me off of Pokemon, like original Game Boy Pokemon.
Right.
When at some point it was revealed how there was hidden math in Pokemon, and those people went through the trouble to figure out the math, and it was not easy.
Nope.
If you're interested at all in this shit, you should look up the history of Pokemon, and there are some deep dives I'm sure people have done about how they figured out how IVs exist, because the game sure as fuck didn't tell you they existed. But Lord, when you attacked with your Pidgey and you did 42 damage at level 30 with this attack, they ran the math and went, oh, that's interesting. Oh, this is,
Yep.
and none of this was given to them by Nintendo or Game Freak. They just figured it out using hard fucking math.
And here's how we could wrap this back around to Warframe. The reason people know about this side of theory crafting in Warframe is because DE do talk about it. They publish
they want you to
all
do
of this shit. You can go to the wiki and read the fucking math formulas of how all of this shit works.
Yep.
It's wild.
It's great. They let you get as much out of it as you want.
They show how the sausage is made. So I've now got enough of that stuff under my belt that one of the things I've been doing, because I'm a contrarian, is there's a meta, of course. Every game has a meta. There is a meta in Warframe, and some Warframes are played way more than others, and other Warframes are completely not played because they're not meta. And one of the things I like to do is take frames that are not played and make them viable.
Right.
In Steel Path.
I love that. I love that idea.
So, and this is the thing. This is my whole point, is that because of the flexibility of any Buildcraft or Theorycraft game, this is viable. This is possible. This is just a giant sandbox full of stuff, and you can take that stuff and make things with it. And it's up to you and your ingenuity. You have a degree of agency in this that other games don't give you.
Right.
Right. And that's what is fascinating and what is so engaging about all of this style of game. Destiny, Diablo, Warframe, whatever, any game that does this is the appeal, right? To be able to do this. So that's what I've started doing with a lot of my frames. It's one of the least played Warframes. Every year they publish the stats about what are the most and least played Warframes. Consistently, for at least the length of time that I've been playing, it's been at the very bottom of the list, Banshee. I just so happened to have come up with a build for Banshee that I really like. And one of the things I love to do, and this is not just with Banshee, this has been with at least 3 frames so far. There's a game mode called Netracells, which is a kind of end game. It's sort of like baby's first end game, right? For Warframe. It's not the hardest thing in the game, but it's pretty hard. It's
You gotta have played for a while.
Yeah, it is. It is the first game mode that you go into that when you click on the thing to go into it, it says, okay, yo, this is hard. Yeah. Are you ready for this? Right. So, I love taking like non-meta Warframes into a public group in an Netracell, because you will get motherfuckers dropping out who go, "Whoa, wait, you're not optimized. You're not, you're a noob. You don't know what you're doing."
Yep.
And they'll back out. It's hilarious. And then I'll fucking go in and just ruin the place. It's great. Anyway, so I've got this build, a Banshee, that I've been tinkering with for a little while, that I was okay with, and she could do pretty good. Banshee is a very squishy frame. She's very hard to keep alive. She's got very good offensive capability, but she's very, very hard to keep alive. So people don't play her. And one of her skills is literally completely useless. But because she's an older frame, they haven't updated her kit in a long time. She's due for a rework, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But in the last update, the old piece update, the last big one, we've got a few new tools in the toolbox. And a couple of them have been focused around survivability. And I've been tinkering with those. And I came up with a Banshee build that is like, yo, I can do fucking anything with this. It's really good. And I, with like no effort at all. And this is my goal in any of these games is, as you know, well, from playing several types of these games, you get into a flow state, right? You get into the murder fugue, right? And that's the goal. This is why I don't watch television.
Yeah.
Because this is my relaxation. You get into that state where you're in it, you're not even thinking about your rotation because it's just instinctive. You're just there and you're doing it. This Banshee build lets me get into that state very easily, and it's fantastic, and I loved it. So I ended up doing my very first Warframe build video for Banshee, and I'm going to do a whole series of these because I got a few more in the hopper.
That's a great idea. No, I love the idea of taking the little used characters and saying, this is what you can do with this, guys.
And the series is going to be called, as I titled this first one, Bad Warframe Build You Definitely Shouldn't Try. so it's like, I'm front loading this. I got in front of this because I'm like, I've seen the comments in other people's Warframe videos. I know what people are like. People are going to pick this apart like mad.
But you're still able to show the math.
So I did like a joke at the beginning of the video with Frankie going, all right, you are not ready for what's coming. Right? So I want to see spreadsheets. Just fucking get them. Right. And it's like, I made the point ahead of time. It's like, look, I know I'm just fucking around. I am not telling you what to play. You should not copy this build. This is just me spitballing and finding out what works. But I've got a few of these that I think work pretty well. And I love taking these into Netrocels particularly because, again, they're the early game, end game. Mm-hmm. So people are still not quite all the way there, but they're enough there that they think they're the shit. Right. So,
and it's nice to remind people, a lot of people get tired of a game because they only play the meta.
There is no way to make a game boring faster than just playing the meta. Yeah. This is what's keeping it interesting, is like thinking outside the box and like going, well, what if I did this, right?
These are the same people that use a cheat code and then complain that the game's too easy.
And that's why, to wrap us back around to Diablo 4, the thing I'm doing with my Eternal Realm character is I'm not looking at a build guide at all.
That's good.
I am just going, let's just do this. Let me just play the thing that feels right. What can I do with this? How can I...
I mean, I get overwhelmed, especially with Diablo, because there's just so much.
Well, coming from Warframe, let me tell you, no, there ain't. That ain't, you ain't got nothing.
And that's it, though. It's
Warframe has tempered me to my expectations into like, you know what? Diablo is fine.
I mean, I'm the guy who let his Destiny vault get full because I'm like, I can't throw this gun away because that's a weird combination.
Oh, I get it.
That might become meta if they update it. And
I'll show you my inventory in Warframe sometime, man. It's scary. Anyway, so yes, you can go. I'll link it in the show notes. You can go watch my Bad Warframe builds you definitely shouldn't try video for Banshee. And I've got 3 comments, and they're all nice.
That's great.
And one of them is from a person who mains Banshee.
Oh,
He's
there
like,
you go.
Fucking right.
Let's fucking go.
Let's get on there.
That's great.
So there we go. Okay. I think that'll do it. We are at time. I think we're exactly at time too. So that's awesome. That's pretty good.
We're so good at this.
We are very good at this.
Please pay us.
Even sleep that.
We're so good at this.
Please God.
Please keep listening. Please keep listening.
If you are still listening, you're a champ as always. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Kevin.
And OperationPuppet.com for all the links. Join the Discord, and we will catch you next time. You have been listening to Pixels and Puppets, the Operation Puppet podcast. Visit www.operationpuppet.com for all our links. Tell your friends, give us a rating wherever you get your podcasts, and join us again because nothing is more entertaining than aging nerds giving their opinions on the internet.